All right, dear participants, I'm Michael Adelani Adewusi, and I'll be taking us through customization and management of Moodle site.
Please proceed. We can hear you, sir.
All right. So what basically we are going to be looking at, listed up there, is being divided into three sections, the way I will just put it. And for the first section, we'll be looking at the managing a Moodle site, learning materials, how to add learners to Moodle. Then from there, we go to managing content. That is basically setting up the quiz. Then lastly, we'll conclude with customization. Well, before I proceed, I'm from the Yoruba tribe, from the Western Nigeria, and we always give honor to whom honor is due. So as a Yoruba person, we always prostrate to our elders. All these names listed are not limited. There are more. If I should say, I should add more names. We might not live here today. I would like to thank my Dr. Olowe. He actually brought out the person in me. That Michael, you just have to speak out. So I'm saying this morning, thank you so much. And also my ground mentor, and that is the Professor Emeritus Peter Okebukola. He had actually taken me through different things in terms of research. And I must always say thank you. And even his foundation, I won a research grant from him, and he gave me a large sum of money to conduct a research for him. So I'm so very happy about that. And also all my professors, Professor Akipelu, Professor Ebuwon, Professor Loke, Professor Aboduri, Professor Rama, Professor Akidoti. I'm surrounded with all these wonderful group of people. And they are all professors. And I've learned from each one of them. You can see I'm a kind of an embodiment of something that is wonderful. And also to I can call her mother, because she had always been supportive to me. Even in my academics, in payment of my school fees then. I thank you so much, and I will always be grateful to you, man. That's the person of Mrs. Papanwo. Then down to Mrs. Dakotomos, Mr. Kolaole, who's the DG. The acting DG of where I work. I must say a very big thank you to you, sir, for giving me the opportunity to go and learn. Then my direct boss, Mr. Adetono, and then a wonderful auntie there, that is Ms. Abudu. The list is not exhaustive, but I would just want to say a thank you to all of these people who had contributed in one way or the other to what I am today, especially my academics. So I prostrate to all of you and I say thank you. Now let's go into today's business. Before we get started, there are some basic things that we just need to do. You know, we in academics, we would like to at least equate or bring a theory that will go in line with what we want to talk about. And that theory is a theory of this constructive business. You know, it is a learning that it must be successful. For learning to be successful, you have to do what? Create something from the experience of others. So Moodle is actually built on social constructivism, and that is what we should have in mind. And that was what the inventor, which is Martins, had in mind. He's an educator and also a computer scientist. He was the one that developed Moodle, and this is what he had in mind. For it's not just a spoken word, but it varies around from spoken word or online posts to sophisticated things such as painting and software programs. That is experience or what he was having in mind when he was creating this module. Then also going into their principles. It's not limited to these principles, but I just want to bring up these principles. There's a kind of a worldview formed by years of experience and years of education. There is something that I have known. That is a worldview. And basically where I'm going to is the second to the last one, that where says that learners learn more effectively by what active doing. If you are not doing something, then you are not learning. You might not learn effectively. So the idea of that theory that he was having in mind made him now to develop this module, and module is now being used worldwide. My profs, they will always be saying theory of the practical. You know, we try to lay a kind of foundation, a kind of something before the last scene or something before the scene. And that is what I call this theory. There are several theories now I'm going to be showing to us which will form the basis of our practical. And before I go ahead, we need to have an understanding of module. Now, module, we have it in the cloud. Just what Mr. Michael had taught us, we have the module cloud. We also have module offline. We also have module, the mobile app. We also have module, the one that you can create and host on your hosting packages. Like in Nigeria, where I am, we have this, I'm not selling any hosting company, but I can recommend. I use most of the time, I use Google Host. There's an amount of money you pay for a year. They give you your hosting name, they give you your hosting right, they give you your bandwidth, they give you your domain name address, domain name, and all of them. And based on that, you can download module and install it on that hosting package. So you can see that we have several different forms, let me say forms of module. The one Mike had told us and the one we want to limit ourselves on is the module cloud, which was what he had explained to us. Now, because I can see some questions were being asked, is module free? How much is it? How much is that? And all of this. The platform, which is that cloud, that which we have, is not free. Not free in the sense that it has its own package that you can subscribe to. Then when you subscribe, you pay a certain amount of money. But the idea about module is it comes with a copyright that is forward free. I've had more than a decade of experience in programming, and I was very, very happy when I got to know module. The reason is this: it's free for me to manipulate whatever I want to manipulate module. So indirectly, I getting a module means I can change whatever I want to change inside of it because I have the right from module to do that. And that is basically some things we want all of you to get to know. And that is what will now lead us into something that we call customization. Customization is making it real as if it is yours. There are a lot of things you need to change inside. There are a lot of programmings you need to write that makes it now looks as if it is you that did everything. Though Moodle had already given you a complete package, then they also give you the right to customize it. So let's go into the topic now. I know Mr. Mike had taught us all some of the things I'm going to show to us, but I call them theory of the practical. Now, there is something that we need to do. The first thing for us to do after creating your site, which is what Mr. Mike had taught us, is now to add your course. To add your course in programming, there's something we call syntax. So you are going to be seeing some languages of programming, some things I'm going to be mentioning from programming. So one of them is its syntax. So syntax is actually, how does it look like? How do I go? What's the pathway? For you to create a new course, this is just the syntax you need. This is how you need to go. And it leads you to something that looks like this. If you have done your site before, you should have something that is similar to this. I had to do this screenshot from a Moodle site, which had been created. So just for us to have a background site, see it before you do. That is just what I'm trying to bring up here. If you can see the syntax has been written, I've been shown up. Then, how do you add the course? You have the parent category, you have the name, you have the category ID name, then you have the description before you do your creation. Let me explain one by one. The parent category can contain limited numbers of courses. You know, when you say parent, looking at it from the ideology of what you have, you as a man and your wife, the parents, then you have the kids. So the parents mean you can have as many kids as you want. The category name, that is the name which you give to that parent category. I hope we all get it, so that by the time we go back, or what you've done, you are now saying that you are now beginning to learn deeper. The parent category, it can contain as many courses as you want. A single category will take care, for instance, where I also lecture, Lagos State University, we have faculty, we have departments, we have units. Under that a unit, which is a science and technology education unit, we have several courses. So my parent category could just be science, it can be science and technology education. So that is the name. Then underneath of it, I have several courses. We have educational technology, we have a computer study, we have introduction, and so on and so forth. That is what it is here. So once you are done with that, you click on create, then it is created. For instance, this is how it looks like. Now, as you can see in here, I use an example of what they've been practical. So under the practical, we could have season 1, we could have season 2, we could have season 3. As we continue further, we are going to see that. And as been said by Mike, you can put your description, you tell us what it is and how it looks like. Now, let's continue further. Once you've done that, you can see here, you have the category name. And also you have here what I call, this is a parent name. And from here, you can now begin to create several courses. You can create thousands of courses. You can create unlimited numbers of courses under the parent category. We are going to demonstrate it live, but we need to have a theory of the understanding of how it works. From there, let's explain. Now, when you click, by the time you click on creating the course, or you want to add a new course, you have not limited to all these informations. You have the course full name, you have the course short name, and of course, the parent category will show. Automatically, it will show. Also here, you can have unlimited numbers of parent categories, but the ones you've created will be the major one, which is the parent category. From here, you have the full name. What is the full name? What is the name of that course that you want to add? That's the meaning of that. Now, what is the short name? Short name is just short. But for me, I always write the full name everywhere, just for me to know, because you could have short name to be a short name to be TT, and you know, TT could mean timetable, then TT could also mean another thing. So I always decide to write it in full for me not to make mistake. From here, as been explained by Mike, you have your show and you have also your hidden. Showing means the course is live, or the course should be live. You have the course starting date, just as you have here. I can't edit anything here because this is theory of the practical. Then from there, I have the starting date, the ending date. If you take a look at it, I said my starting date should be 2nd of November, 2022, and at this time. This represents time, so and at this time. Then my ending of that course, it could be, let's say for instance, you want to have this course to be delivered just in 1 week. So meaning that you are going to select just a 1 week from here, which will now be the week that it's going to end. Once you've enabled all those things, you have to enable them rather. You have to say they should be available or they should be enabled. If you did not enable them, the course will not start. Neither will students be able to register or partake in that course. Let's move further. Now, let's go, as been explained by Mike also, let me buttress deeper on it. That is the course format. You have 4 different types of 4 formats in Moodle. And how do you get there? What are they? Course format refers to the layout of a course. The course format can be selected in what the syntax I've given up there. Now, it is just a layout of how the course should look like, or what it takes for it to look like. Let's take a look at that. You have the weekly format, as been explained. Each week part has its own heading. It has their heading date. The module creates weekly sessions for your course, each of them. And each of all these formats, you can have your content, you can have your forum, you can have your quiz. And all these content, all these quiz, all these forums, they are what we call the activities. They are what we call the activities. These are what actually drive Moodle. Moodle should not just to be stagnant. Moodle should be what dynamic. No, Moodle should be driven by activities, and these are some of the activities that I've listed. Also, this is how the format look like. Just the same way with what we have online there. You have the format, you have the number of sections. These sections, you can have it in terms of topic, you can have it in terms of whatever you want to have it for. Then you can have all the sections to be collapsed in one page or linking to several other pages. We are going to demonstrate it for you, and you are going to see the dynamics that are there in Moodle. Moodle is highly customizable. Moodle gives you permission to go into the source code. As a programmer, I go into the source code, I change several sources, I change several codes to suit what I want. Now, let me tell us this. This is one big secret in Moodle. The module that you have in the cloud it might limit what you want to have. They also have module partners. I'm not selling modules, but I have a very advanced knowledge about module. So I can tell you categorically that you can consult their partners to do whatever you want them to do for you from the module. You can collapse. Let's go back to the message, to the what we are teaching. You can collapse all your forms just into one page, single form. You can also collapse, or you might also not want to collapse them and have it page by page. Then your course layout is somehow almost similar to the first one, which you have your section. Now let's take a look at the topic format. The topic format is you organize your teaching into topics that teacher can title. Topics, maybe you want to talk about English, another topic you want to talk about mathematics, another topic, and just and like that, and like that, and like that. Then each topic sections, they also have their own activities. They also have their own resources. They also have their own labels. And any other things can also be added to it. This is how it looks like. From the format, from the topic format, you can see the number of sections there. You could have endless.
Dr. Adebusi.
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind, can I come in a little bit? I'm
not
just looking at one, the time. Two, this is, I believe that this introduction, that's why we call the entire thing simplifying it. I want to put myself in the shoe of majority of the participants that don't go too above our level, and probably to also get us properly engaged right from now, instead of wasting again when you come back. Probably you just start now to get us involved stage by stage, and then people can ask questions to save time, and then to make us to get I want to believe I'm speaking the minds of the participants, if you don't mind, sir.
All right, sir. I got you, sir. All right, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So we have several formats there in modules, and we also have single activities, and all of them. I think by now we should have something similar to this, which is what we've done. The online version, the cloud version which we've done, this is similar to what we have on the screen now. Then, what about the adding materials? We've done a little about the adding of materials, and we are going to, I think from here, we go into how we can add our students, add much more of the learning materials, and how it will look like from the administrator end. Because once you create your module site, basically you become the administrator, meaning that you have access to everything in the module site. We are also going to look at how the student is going to, what they are going to view, how it's going to look like when the students log in. So, and also, what we are going to be using is, I had created some short videos, which we are now going to incorporate, or we are going to add into our module site. What we are seeing is different from what students will be seeing. So I'm going, very soon now, we'll go into what the student is going to be seeing. And automatically, I'm going to turn every one of us to students. And we are going to see what we are going to be seeing at the back end. And this is how to do that, which Mr. Michael had actually shown to us. And once you click on it, it's somehow similar to this, what you are going to see. Now is a adding of students to the module. We've done the first two earlier. Now let's just follow through, just as been said by my doctor. Let's follow through from here, the theory part of it. Let's have a visual of how it looks like before we practicalize it. How do we ask students to hold it? It's very simple. Enrollment refers to the process of learning, adding learners to any course. And that is what we can just refer to as authentication in Moodle. Once students have logged into Moodle, they can enroll in courses in various ways. These ways differ. They can enroll themselves when they log into your account, or you can automatically enroll them. That is what we call the manual enrollment. And when you talk about the manual enrollment, there are something that we call plugins. All these plugins, there are plugins that comes with a new module. And there are plugins also that you incorporate into your module, which you must enable by you who had created that site. So we are going to be looking at this enrollment plugin, because it is that enrollment plugin which comes in with your new module site that allows the learner to enroll manually into your module. How does it look like? This is how it looks like before we go to practicalize it, how it will look like. There's something that we call the eye. You need to open the eye for them to be able to do certain things. Some things in Moodle, you need to open the eye, because if you don't open, it will not be enabled. That's how it looks like. And these are some of the ways, which is also what we are going to be seeing by the time we begin to add our students into Moodle. And this particular slide it explains each of the content when you are adding your students or when you are adding your learners to whatever you've done. So you have this slide, which will also guide you at the end of the day on what it is, because you need to know what it is before you can interact with them fully. Then also, there's another one which we call the manual uploading of learners. We are going to be going through it also practically, but these are the steps which you need to do or which you need to know. And from here, I think I will have to go off. Then we'll come back to the slide and let's practice let us just practice how do we add students to. Let me unshare. So please let me just share my full screen. All right, I believe everyone is seeing my screen.
Yes, we can, sir.
Yeah. Now, sorry, I'm trying to open up my cloud, the Moodle cloud, which I've created, just the way every one of us had created it. Now to log in to your Moodle cloud, which you've created, you have this particular URL which you must click onto before you can log in to your Moodle cloud, just the way you are seeing on the screen. On my system, you have where you will type in your Moodle class name, then you put in the passcode. And I believe most of us, because it's not working, what I mean is it's not active, it's going to tell you that your sessions have been timed out. Then you are going to type in your details, your information, and for me, I have admin, then I put in my password. So once I put in my password, and as you can see up here, this is my name, which is a site name that I had created, and that is wamdevi1.moodle.com. Now, before we go further, as you can see, this is a free for 45 days. Moodle Cloud free for 45 days. And at the back, you can see wamdevi1.moodlecloud.com. For you, remember or recall that Ayala told us that you have different platforms for modules. You have this particular one, which is cloud. You have another one, which you will need to install on your hosting or your hosted site. They function the same way. It is just that particular one gives you access to what I had said earlier about manipulation of all the programming or all the things that they've written inside Moodle. But for this one, the Moodle cloud will always be showing. But for the other one, it will not show this moodle.com. But rather, it's going to show something that looks like this. As you can see up here, you have Ade, Lani, PLA/Ade, and so on and so forth. This is also a Moodle site. As you can see at the back, you can't find the moodlecloud.com there. It is because I had gone to a particular hosting site and hosted my name, I've gotten a domain name, and I installed the application, the Moodle application in it, and it's now functioning. It's still a very good, it's a Moodle site. Now for us, we are going to add our students now. This is just for us, it's just introducing us to Moodle. How you can do it before you can now begin to do it in the real life of yours. I'm going to click login, and it's going to take me into my Moodle site, which is the cloud, and I'm in my cloud. I'm in my Moodle right now. Click home, and as you can see it's telling me welcome back. Moodle will always greet you. I say welcome back, Michael, or welcome back, whatever is your name. I'm now going to be explaining to us one after the other what some of these things mean before we go into the adding of students. There are several ways you can add students, but there is a simpler way I'm going to show us on how to add students on what you created. And even what you created, you can use it to deliver courses. You can even start from today, or you start from tomorrow. You have your school here. As you can see, you have your school. Your school, this is just the name. You can change this to be your name. That is one. You have home. You will always be at home with Moodle. That's one thing with Moodle. You will always be at home. Then you have the dashboard. This your dashboard. By the time you decide, oh, you need to learn advanced or you need to go deeper into Moodle, this dashboard will be customized in such a way that summarily you can see everything that is happening in your Moodle. That is for the dashboard. For my courses, basically Moodle is built for courses, built for learners to learn. That is why you are having that my courses there. Then you now have your site administration. Inside this, your site administration, you have several things inside of it. And it is from this site administration, you can do several other things which you want to do. And it is from there, we are now going into to add our students. We are going to add our students manually now. Then, if time still permits, we are going to add our students. We upload some of the students which I might have. Also, we bring them up and we see how it looks like. Then some of us is now going to sign in to see, to view what student is viewing, because what student is viewing is different from what they will be viewing will be different from what you are seeing. Students are not going to see everything on what you are seeing here. They are just going to see fewer things. But what we want to do now is to add our students. So what you need to do, this is practical. You are going to click at the site administration. To click on the site administration, then it takes you into all other things which are inside Moodle. And as you can see, it's many. There are a lot of them. You have the general. You have several things in the general. As you can see, you have users, you have courses, you have grades, you have plugins, appearance, servers, reports, development. Don't be scared, because being the first time, you might not be able to easily grasp them. And that is the essence of that theory of the practical. At least you've already visualized it, how it's going to look like. Now you are now going to do it yourself. You are now going to click at the user. Once you click at the user, you have several things inside the user. Inside the user, you have account and you have permission. You also have privacy and policy. I love this part so much, this privacy and policy. There are a lot of things inside of it. Now, we are not going there. And as you can see from the user, if you should go back to our syntax of what I showed us earlier, you will see that the syntax will easily take you to what you need to do. From here, you have browse list of users. Then you have bulk user action. Then you have add a new user. I'm going to add a new user to this platform which I had created. So I will need a volunteer who should unmute, and I will ask some questions. I'm going to put the questions in, and please class, just follow through on how it is being done. It's very simple, it's not hard. Once you click, well, let me start all over again. Remember, we are at home. Home will always be home in Moodle. And Moodle will always welcome you home. This is our home. And as you can see in here, I've got nothing for my course, but I want to add a user into whatever course I'm going to create. So from here, the next thing I'm going to do, I believe some of us we've created some courses, maybe one or two, but we want to add somebody, we want to add user of that particular course that you've created to your course. What you need to do, you click on the site administration. From the site administration, you are going to see several other links inside the module. Don't be scared about seeing several things. By the time you continue to interact, to play with it, all these things will become part of you. From there, it's logical also. You can even create your course from here. You can create your course from here. A particular way, you can do so many things in different ways in Moodle. It depends on which one suits you better. However, Moodle also have a kind of straightforward way which you can use. But you need to now be used to something that I call this site administration. Because from there, you are going to be adding, you are going to be doing so many things to build your Moodle site. We are not going to courses, but we are going to users. Why? Because I want to add a user into my Moodle platform. Now, there are difference between you adding a user and also you adding, you enrolling a user. When you say enroll, enrollment means you are enrolling this particular individual to this course. You've created course on mathematics, created course on computer, created course on English. You are now going to add Ben to English. You are now also going to add Ojo to mathematics. Ojo, who has been added to mathematics, will not see what is inside the English because it's not enrolled into English. Just the normal way that we enroll our students in our higher institutions. That is how it works. A particular student that had been enrolled to educational technology will see everything under educational technology. A particular student who had been enrolled to computer science education will see everything under computer science education. But both Ojo and Ben, they are users of your module. They are inside your module. Those are the ones that we call the user. So what we are going to do now is we are going to add a user into our platform, not yet enroll that particular user into our platform. How do we do that? You click on add a new user. Clicking on adding a new user will give us a pop-up, it's different information that we need to add a particular user to our module site. You can see here now you have you have all this particular information. This is my course, this is my site now, and I'm going to add a new user to that particular site. Remember, I told us if you did not add a particular user to your site, that particular user can never be enrolled to your course. However, to the advanced side, a particular user can add him or herself to your course based on some criteria. But we are not treating that. We are trying to limit ourselves so that we don't get much confused. With this limited understanding which you are going to get after this course, you should be able to add a particular person to your course so that the person will listen to that, will attend that your particular course. That is what we want to achieve. Now, Moodle makes use of username and password. Username in the sense that might not really be your particular name, but a name that you love. For myself, I love to use Mike Ade as my username. So now I think I will want a particular person to please unmute and just give me a username. Can I get somebody? Please, I want somebody to unmute.
Hello, Dr. Adeusi, you can just mention someone's name. We will unmute.
All right.
Just okay, as you are led by the Spirit.
Okay, sir.
Look at the names.
Yeah,
and just
I see somebody. I'm going to call somebody's name, and that is Ajayi Olaniyi. Yeah. So I've seen someone's name, and his name is Ajayi Olaniyi. So for Ajayi Olaniyi, that is the first person.
Please unmute.
Ajayi Olaniyi.
Please, can
I've done that. I've unmuted myself.
Okay. Yeah. So, Mr. Ajayi Olaniyi, I'm going to add you to my Moodle site as a user. Right. Remember, I told us earlier, there's a big difference between user and
administrator.
Enrolled user. Yes, user sir. Means you have access into my Moodle. That's what it means.
Yes, sir.
But yes, I've been a user. But being enrolled is I had created a particular course and I want you to partake in that course. That's what it means. Yes. So let's take note of the two differences. Now, for him as a user, I'm going to give him Ajayi, which is what I've typed up, Ajayi 001. That is what I've given him. And now let's take note when we are adding a kind of a username. Moodle will prefer everything to be small letters, just like the way I have. But when you are enrolling, when you want to enroll a large book, if you had used capital letter, Moodle will automatically change it to small letter for you. And that is what I'm having here. Now, you don't need to do anything with the enrollment. That is the authentication method. The authentication method, what we've said, this is what it is manual. So just leave it as it is. Now you go to the password. Moodle also have a format of your password. And for you to see your password, what is the password you are actually going to give that particular person? That is what it means. So from here, I'm going to click here, which is showing edit the password. Once I click on the edit the password, I'm going to open here, which is the high. Yes, there are so many things on Moodle that you must open the high. Because if you don't open the high, you won't see. So you open the high, which is what I have done, and I'm going to give him the password. Recall that I had given him a username which is Ajayi 001. The password I'm going to give him, You know, his surname is Olani. So I'm going to give him Ola N, Olan, then 1, 2, 3, question mark. Now, for this, your password, there are several things you can say. You want to take 3-letter words of password, 4-letter words of password, 100-letter words of password. You want to have alphanumeric. You want to have other things included to it. All those settings can be done if you navigate through your site administration, and you can do them. But for default, Moodle will restrict you to 8. And restricting you to 8, you need to combine both letter, capital letter, figure, and special character. And that is what I have done. You can see I have a capital letter, small letter, and also I have figures. I also have the special character. Yes, that is about that. And let's take a look at something. If I should click on the eye, it's hidden. If I open it, it's shown. That is one thing I need us to know about Moodle. So you need to open the eye for you to see some things. His name, I need to put his name. That is, his first name is Ajayi. Then his surname is Olaniyi. That is his name. Then his email address. I'm just going to give him any email address here. I will just give him any email address. I can give him Ajayi 123 at AOL.com. And has been said by our earlier facilitator that you need to take note of all these red signs. All these red signs means they are required. They are important. They are necessary that you must put them there. So you need to take note. Where you don't have it, it means it's not really necessary for you to do. And also you have the email display. I'm not going to talk detail about that. What we are concerned about is we want to add a particular user on our platform. Sorry, I'm trying to move down. Okay, yeah. So then Moodle. Then you can type a description about that particular person here. Your description is just for you to give description. Then also here you have your country, which is Nigeria, and then you have your time zone, which is Africa, Africa, Lagos. You have several time zones which you can select. Then you have the picture. You have the picture, meaning that you can add a particular picture of that individual into your module. You can upload the person's picture through this means. You can drag it down and put it there. Then you have other options which you can also interact with on your own. And remember I said you have this red sign to be required. All those things we are listed up there as required. Once you are done with all those informations, you can now say create user. Yes. Once you click on create user, automatically the users are being created. Recall that his login details is Ajayi 001, and the passcode is Ola capital letter L, Ola N at a 1, 2, 3 question mark. Yeah, so that is the user. If you look up here now, you can see that I have 2 users. And who are they? These are the 2 users. From here, it can give you a view of all your users. You have, this is the first name and the surname. Here is my name, Michael Adewusi. Because I did not create any ID, so it's not going to show the ID. And you can, from here, you can see our emails. You can see our cities. Because I did not add cities, that's why you are not saying city. But however, I can go back and re-edit. You have our country, and you can see last access type. It will also show. And remember what I told us, if I don't want this particular person to be able to do anything on the site, I can easily close the high. Once I close the high, that means the individual will never be able to have access to the site. That is, there's a particular plugin that is handling that. So modules is also embodiment of several plugins. Modules is an embodiment of several plugins. Plugins are there are little applications that makes modules function to what you want it to function. Now I have added my individual, I've added my user. Let me go back again. Let me create my own course, because I want to believe all of us, we've created our course on our platform, on the module site. And I also want us to follow me. Mr. Mike had taught us a particular way, a one way, which module already envisaged that should be the simpler way of us creating our course. I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to show us another way. There are several ways of doing several things on Moodle. But for us not to be confused, for us to go systematically, the module has a particular pattern that we must go through. And that is what Mr. Michael and Madam Patricia are also taking us through. But however, it is necessary that we take so many things from anything when we are learning. So I'm going to show us another way of adding courses now. It's very simple and it's as well very straightforward. Recall that Mr. Mike told us that we had it from the home. Moodle will always take us home. Moodle will always welcome us to the home. And as you can see here, I have nothing. Moodle is telling me that I should add courses. Look at the English. It's saying I should add what? Courses. Courses means it's endless. But however, I want us to follow through the syntax of Moodle. Because by the time you now begin to do Moodle on your own, you'll be seeing a lot of syntax. And you now begin to wonder, how do I get this? How do I do this? What's this syntax? You'll now be confused. So let's quickly get used to that particular syntax. I'm not going to be using this particular method of adding my course. So I'm going to use the syntax method. And that is, once you are home, you have your dashboard, you have my courses, you have your site administration. So you just click on your site administration. So that gives you everything that you need to know inside the module. To add course, to add individual, to change your theme, to do anything, endless things that you want to do in Moodle. So it is from your site administration. For the syntax I showed to us earlier, you could see I said admin, I said courses, I said course management, and so on and so forth. That is a particular syntax. Now we are going to courses because I want to add a particular course to my Moodle. So I click on courses and it gives me different things entirely. As you can see up here, you have users, different things are there. And from the user, we'll be able to use this particular plugin, which is the adding of user to our site, which is what we've done. Now we want to work on the courses. In the courses here, recall that Mr. Mike had shown us that this is how you need to add your course. This is also how you can also add your course. You click on your managed courses and categories. That's the first thing that you're supposed to do. The reason is this. From my explanation earlier, from my department, from my faculty of education in Lagos State University, we have faculty of education. We have faculty of education. Under the faculty of education, you have several departments. You have several departments. Under the several departments, you have, bringing up a particular department, you have units. My department is Science and Technology Education Department in LASU. My unit is Educational Technology. You can see the way it goes. So it is based on this ideology that Martins, who developed this site, was having in mind. It's like a tree. You have the stem, then you have the branches. Then from the branches again, you have branches again. Then you now have the leaves. That is why it's necessary you come to the root first. Have your root, then have your branches. Then when you have your branches, have your leaves. That's how it works. You click on site administration, you click on courses, you click on manage courses and categories. So let's see what it has for us. Clicking on manage courses and categories will ask several questions from us. Don't be confused about what you are seeing because you are bound to see them. Take a look at what you have here. It might be somehow confusing, but no. Once you follow through with the syntax, you will see that it is very easy for you to do because you need to have a root. Everybody has roots. I have my root, you have your root, everybody have roots. And here you have your categories. And the system is asking you to create categories. Automatically, modules create something that we call miscellaneous for us. And we are not going to be working with miscellaneous because we've outgrown, based on this some few hours of study that we've done, we've outgrown miscellaneous. So we are going to have our own roots. So from here, I am going to create my roots. My root could be anything. Once you click on create new category, it's now going to ask you what is your root or what do you want to have as a baseline where you now want to dump all your courses. Recall from the theory of the practical that I've shown to us, you have something that we call these hard new categories, where you have your parent category, where you have your category name, where you have the ID number, and you have the description. Recall back to the slide I showed us earlier. So that's why it's necessary for you to see before you now begin to do. It means it should have allowed you to have a little background understanding of how it looks like before you go into the real course. Recall about the syntax. The syntax is very simple, and as you can see up here, the syntax is showing for itself. The syntax is what? Site admin, courses, and manage courses and categories. And that takes us here. Now, let me begin now to explain one by one. Here, you have your parent category. Automatically, Moodle is adding you inside the miscellaneous. It's giving you your parent category to be miscellaneous. So, but I don't want my parent category to be miscellaneous. So what do I do? And it's a must. So what I do is I'll click on this search, this drop down arrow. I click and I say I want my own personal category, which should be on top of the miscellaneous. That's what you do. So Moodle will accept it and say, okay, Michael is trying to create a new category for himself. Well, Michael doesn't want to work with my miscellaneous. Now, what is now my category name? Your category name could be anything. What are we doing today? We are trying to talk about Moodle. Let's say what we are talking today is let's say module teaching. That is what we are doing today. That is a parent category. Because inside this module teaching, it is where I'm now going to place my course. Inside this module teaching, I could have millions. I hope you all heard me. Millions of courses inside this my module teaching. Yes, that's what it means. Recall I told us earlier, we are using this free for 45 days. It's limited, both in storage and in participants. This particular one we are using, which is free for 45 days, cannot take more than 50 users. And things that you can add, maybe you upload to it, you navigate to, all those things, they are also bytes that consume space. And if you look up here, you can see user, and you can see a very small green light there. It's showing that I still have a lot of spaces for users to come in. And if you look at the category, the storage too is very small. You can see it's still showing that I have a lot of storage that I can do. That is for the 45 days. Moodle also, they have the platform that can take 1,000 users. This particular one, this cloud, the highest it can take 1,000 users at a time. But however, the one that you've created by hosting on your own can take billions. Yes, that's one good thing about Moodle. Can take billions. You heard me right. But this is just a very elementary for beginners. What are we talking about? We are talking about category name. And inside this, we are doing module teaching. Recall, under this module teaching, we've talked about how to add participants. That is a section under the module. We've talked about how to add courses. That is also another course, and all of them like that. We are going to see the I won't say it's a magic, because we are practicalizing, we are doing it. Then here for your description. For your description, you can say this is a practical class. No, it could be, it depends whatever you want to, your description. It's your English. Just type and put in your English. Then from here, when you scroll down, you will see create the category. Once you click on the create the category, automatically modules will create a category which we call the module teaching category for you. If you scroll down, let's see our category now. Yes, you can see our categories is now being created. Recall, I told us, I said inside this category, just like, because somebody was asking questions, can you use it for a faculty or a school or a thing? This is the ideal thing. This is school in the cloud. This particular thing is more than enough for your university. And this particular thing is more than enough to manage the whole country's university. You heard me right. You can use Moodle to manage all your school. You can use it to manage all the universities in your country. Yeah, Moodle, you can use it. Moodle is so big that you can use it to manage whatever you want to manage. Now, inside this my Moodle, if you look at this particular side here, recall this is very pure practical, and we are going step by step. on how you can have your course in a much more professional and ideal way. You have your category now, which is this module teaching. And if you look up here, you have the highs. The highs are open, meaning that it is accessible, meaning that it is online. And if you take a look at this side, you have these school caps, which are showing zero, meaning that there is nothing inside it yet. All these ones, you can use it to take it up or you move down. Just hover your mouse on it, it tells you what it is. Then here is what you can do any action. That is, you can click here or you click here to amend your, let's say you want to add more English to this, your title. You click on it, it takes you to the editing and you do your editing. Now, let me quickly bring this up. If I click up, you can see this module, this particular name has moved up. And I don't want my participants or I don't want my students to be seeing anything miscellaneous. I can close the high by closing the high. Once I've closed the high, no student forever will ever have access to it. You can see the high is closed. Those are basic things you need to take note of in your module as you are beginning now, so that you get used to them. So you need to close the high, you need to open the high and do some other things. Now for the opening of the high now, you can see the high is open. I'll now need, you can see automatically what I have here, this is module teaching. I have module teaching up here now. And it's now telling me, Dr. Michael, you need now to create your course, which is here. So clicking this one will now give me the permission to create course under that course category, and which is what we've done. You can see the steps we go through. You can create it from your home straight as it is, and also you need to go through the syntax which module had given, and that is by going to the site admin. You click on course. You click on course management. Courses, manage courses and categories. You put your root, which is your category. Then you add your course. This is your course now. Now from here, I'm just going to call this one practical. I'll call it practical, which is what we are doing. Practical. It's asking me for the short code. Recall, I prefer to type all my course short code. I don't like to type short because there's possibility that two short codes might be jamming, and it will be very confusing when you are doing something that we call grading. But we are not going into that. But we should be able to deliver a course online. That's the purpose of this course. So I'm going to type everything practical, which is that. Now, you can see my course category automatically is putting me inside my module teaching. We are already used to all these. Course visibility, do you want it to show or not? Now, you can see the starting day is 10. 10 is tomorrow, but today is 9. So I want it to start today. So I give it for today. And you can even tell Moodle that, Moodle, I want you to start my course since yesterday. Yes, that is it. So Moodle will take it, we accept it. So it's starting from yesterday. And the moment I say, you can see is up already. It's going to start from yesterday. I can give it my, if I want to give it a course ID, I can do. If I don't want to do, I don't need to do. Then I do my description. So I can say this is pure, practical. That is it. Then from there, I scroll down. I can recall that Mr. Mike had added an image. So let me also add an image. Let me upload an image. Click on file. it maps me into my system where I can actually upload my image. Click on that. You can see it asks me to upload a file. So I'm going to click on choose a file. From there, I will map it to that particular file I want to use in my system. So it has opened my systems for me. So I'm now going to look for an image. I think I have image in here. Yeah. So let me bring up an image. Open. Once you say it is open, you say upload this file. Once you upload the file, it's going to add it inside the Moodle. You can see the file had been added. You do every other necessary thing. And recall when Mr. Mike was also taking us, and also the brief introduction I gave us about course formats. You have different types of format, depends on what you want. You have the weekly, you have the social, you have the single format. However, I'm going to be using the single format. The essence of this single format is okay, let me use weekly format so that I can add a course. Then by tomorrow we will add quiz so that we can all do quiz online. Okay, let me use weekly format. Then it's asking me for my sections. You can see my sections. I can add up to 50. However, you can add more than 50. You can by going advanced now, by changing what module is having, the programming, like the program, what module that program, you can adjust it to 1 million, to all of any more amount you want. So, but we are going to be using, let's use 2. So I'm going to be using 2. Hide sections as shown is not available. Just don't bother yourself about all this. You can always close by clicking on this lower down arrow. That closes it. The appearance, how do you want it to look like? So don't bother yourself about it. We are not going into that. Then the file uploads and all of them, you don't need to bother yourself about it. It has given us the maximum upload, which is 500 KB. You can increase, you can decrease, and so on and so forth. Once you are done, you can click save and return. Once you click save and return, it means probably you still want to add more courses. But once you click on save and display, it's automatically enabled for you. So I had clicked on save and display. So what you are going to be seeing now is how it's going to look like. So from how it's going, or from how it has now looked like, I can from here begin to do my my customization. But my customization in here is limited. Very, very limited. When you say customization, I mean I want to remove everything that has to do with module. That module will say that somebody will say, oh, it's not you that did it, it's not this and that, and that. So we are going to do a little customization. We can see you click on your site administration, you click on your courses, you click on your course management, you have your route. Once you are in your route, you create your course. And this is my course. My course is what is called practical. And I can still change this and say probably practical 001. Because what we are doing today is practical 001. Now, yes, sir.
I want to say probably, can you also log in as a student and let's see what you've uploaded so far?
Yes, I will log in as a student very soon. Yes,
since you have been talking to us as a so that
yes, I've been talking as the administrator.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Recall I said we have levels. We also have levels in Moodle. The one we've been talking about since is the administrator level, meaning you have right to everything. You can create levels also for teachers. the levels for students. I recall that I'd already made somebody a student, which I'm going to enroll, because I cannot enroll because I don't have a course yet. So I've gotten my course and I want to enroll my participant, which is what I want to do now. Now from here, this is my course now. If you go into the settings, let's see what we have for the settings. Because based on it, recall I told us that you can actually change the name. So I want to change the name to read Practical 001. So which is what I want to do here for us to really follow. This is Practical 001. And because I've done some changes there, I'm going to save it. Sorry. So I'm going to save it because I've done the changes there and it will reflect almost immediately. So from here, I'm going to add somebody, the person I had created who is a user inside it. And as you can see Practical 001. This is the course which I have. By clicking on the participant, let's see what we have. So clicking on the participant. From here now, let's look at what participants that we have. From here, you can see that it is only me that is the participant. So, and this is the level, or this is what I also want us to really understand. From here now, you've created your course. What you've done, if you click on if you click on the participant, you will discover that it is only you that is there. But you cannot enroll any participant without firstly and firstly having a user on your site. So I want to enroll a user now. Recall that I have created Ajayi 001 as a user. So what I need to do, I need to enroll a user. I click on the my enroll user. You need to click on it before you can enroll any user. You have here the enroll user button, and if you look down here, you see one participant found, meaning it is only me who is the administrator and it is also the user. So, but I want to enroll user. So I click on the enroll user, which is what I have clicked now. It gives me this box. I'm now going to, I can search. Now, the essence of this search is, let's say, for instance, you have, on my own particular Moodle site, I have more than 10,000 students all across the whole wide world. And basically, so periodically, I create small courses. And based on subscription, they say, oh, I want to learn this, I want to learn it. I will request for their email, and we add them to that particular course that I've created. Let's say, for instance, you having 10,000 participants. So how do you add the students? That's the essence of this session. Because you created somebody that is Ajayi, so what I just need to do is I need to search for what Ajayi. Then automatically Moodle will search for that person's name. You can see Moodle has searched the person's name for me, and which is this one, which is this Ajayi Olani, and it also show me his or her email account. So I click on it, Ajayi. You can see he's going to be enrolled as a user. Sorry, as a student. If you click down here, you have managers, you have teachers, you have non-editing teachers. If that Ajayi is a teacher, there is a different rules that will be attached to him by Moodle. And everything, recall I said, everything in Moodle can be changed. And other things can be added to it. So, but what I want to add is a student, not a manager, not a teacher, not a non-editing teacher, but what is student. So I leave it for student. Don't bother yourself with several other informations that are here. Just click enroll user. And automatically, Moodle will tell you that it has enrolled the user. So now, if you take a look, you will see here the person has been added, and you can find 2 participants, meaning 2 users is now being enrolled to that particular course, which is what? That course which is called Practical 001. So very soon now, we are going to see what student will be saying. Because what student will be saying is different from what teacher is saying. What the administrator is saying. So you can see the particular person is now Ajayi Olani. That is his email. He's been enrolled as a student. And if you look here, the system will tell you that the person has never logged in. So summarily, from here, you can dictate that, oh, that particular person had never logged in. And that is the truth. So the next thing we are going to do now is I am going to log out. Sorry, excuse me. I'm going to be logging out as an administrator, and I will now log in as that particular individual. To log out, you have your stuff up here. Clicking on this arrow, you will see log out. But however, before you log out, you can see switch role. But I don't want us to go into that because it will be a little bit confusing. Because without me logging out as an administrator, I can temporarily view what a student is going to see by changing my role to be a student. But let me log out. Let's log out. So I've logged out now, and I will log in with a student so that we can view what they will view at the back end. Recall that this is my site, which I've created, wamdevin1.moodlecloud.com. Then this is login, this is index PHP, and so on. So this is the username, and this is the password. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type the username of that particular user, which is Ajayi 001. Then I will put in his password, which is Olan123 ? So which is what I've typed. I click login. So once I click login, you are going to see what the particular student is going to be saying at the back end. So it's still opening. Okay. So it's going to show you all these. Just you can just say next and let it go off. But you can see up here, I believe everybody can see. Moodle is trying to tell us your cookies, your do so on and so forth. If you see up here, if you click, you will see the individual. You can see his logout details as well. And from here, you can see his dashboard. You can see it's limited with what he's going to see. You see his dashboard. Once Moodle will continue to show all this, and just continue to say next until when it goes off, because he's a new user. And mind you, you will always agree, say next. Once it goes off, it will be off. Then, mind you, you can remove all this from your customization. When you are doing your customization, it will go off from there. But don't let us bother ourselves with that. You can go to the dashboard. Dashboard is for the individual which had been enrolled in the courses. Let's see what the dashboard is having for us. I've acknowledged. Okay, it's asking me to acknowledge. So you need to acknowledge and let it go. Because the module is telling us before continuing, you need to do what? Acknowledge all these policies. The reason is because it's new. And as you can see, module will always welcome. Just now is welcoming the user, and that is Ajayi. This is Ajayi. Then going to my courses, let's see what we have inside my courses. And as you can see, you have only 3. How many? Just 3, which is what? Home, dashboard, and my courses. You can see here, this is the courses that Ajayi had been enrolled for. So if Ajayi had been enrolled for 10 courses, it's going to show 10 courses. If Ajayi had been enrolled for 100 courses, it's going to show 100 courses. Meaning that you can have your whole faculty of education delivered online. Meaning that all your courses, you can have it delivered online. And one thing we need to know here is now the methodology of the delivery of all those courses. That is another thing that is much more urgent here. What is the curriculum? How does it look like? You can customize your module in such a way that if you don't use certain numbers of hours, I mean continuous hours studying, you will not be able to go to another course. You can use your module for that. Because if you take a look at a normal way of delivering courses, you attend your course, you have to sign register. Because I could see Mr. Mike showed us something like attendance. So before you can attend my course, you need to sign my attendance. You can put that as a checkmate, you sign the attendance, then you now have access to the courses. Now, while in course, you can customize it to the extent that if you don't spend 30 minutes on that course, you cannot be able to move to another course. You can do all those settings so that nobody will just say he spent 2 minutes and he will now say he has spent 100 minutes. No, you can put all these restrictions. What does that mean? Your courses, your training programs that you run, you can put them online. Create very powerful criteria that people must accomplish before they go to other courses. So, but what we are treating is we've been able to create our course, and by now we've been able to add students to our course. So it's a great achievement of what we've done today. Now, clicking on this, which is a course I've given to Mr. Ajayi, if you should click on it, it's now going to show us what is the course or how does it look like. What is inside the course. Recall that these are what we've done. So you can see nothing is there yet because we've not added any activities to it. But from your own hand, you should be able now to be able to add material to what you've done. You've already been able to create your course. You've been taught on how to add courses. Now you've now been taught how to add participants. You should now be able to contact your friends anywhere around the world, request for their email, or you ask them, you create username for them, you create password for them, send it to them, ask them to log in and let them see what you've done. From here now, as a participant, which is Ajayi, it can see fellow participants. You can see other participants who are also enrolled in this particular course. Just like I have said to us, you can disable so many things. You can stop so many things. It is just your imagination that will limit you on Moodle. Whatever you can think of, I tell you, it's possible with Moodle. If you want people to, pay for your courses, with Moodle is possible. If you want to deliver free with Moodle, is possible. Anything you can ever think of, categorically, I'm telling you that is possible. Then also, the individual can view so many things on Moodle, but don't let us go deeper so that we don't get much more confused. So the individual who is Ajayi had been able to log in and is able to see this particular course. You can add several other persons to what you created now. So now I'm going to log out. Please, let's have this at the back of our mind. You can see we have these sections in terms of weekly format. You can see the date, 8 to 14, 15 to 21. I'm going to add, or I'm going to amend some things here. I will log in back to Ajayi so that you will see that whatever anything I make from the admin end is automatically reflected in all of your students' profile. I call it profile, even Moodle call it profile. So I'm going to log out now. Recall, I'm going to log out. And if you look up here, you can see it's seeing limited things. It's seeing your school, it's seeing home, it's seeing the dashboard, and it's seeing my courses, excuse me. And it's also seeing my courses. That is what student sees. So I'm going to do some adjustment here so that we can visually view that whatever you edit from your hand, if they are 1 million, automatically reflect on their profile. So I'm logging out now. I'll click on this stuff. He hasn't uploaded his image, his picture. That's why it's not showing. So I can log out now. I'll log out. Then it takes me back to where I can log in. You can see log in to my new Moodle site. You can see the Ajayi is there. So I'm going to type in my own information, which is this. Then I click login. So what
yes,
I will now see, yes, sir.
Please, there's a question for you, sir. As a trainer, does adding of training videos use the same format of adding courses? The question is asked by one of us.
Now, there are Moodle is built based on activities. Activities in the sense that that video you've added is an activity. That course materials you've added is an activity. That file you've added is an activity. I'm going inside it now so that I will add an activity of a video to this particular course. This particular course is Practical 001. So I'm going to add an activity to it. So the best way to go through, and which is what I want you to customize yourself with, is going through the site administration. Click on site administration. It takes you inside the Moodle itself. What I want to do is I want to add an activity to that my Practical 001. I'm now inside my administration now. How I administer. So I'll click on courses. Clicking on courses, I'll click on course, manage courses and category. This is it. So it takes me deeper and deeper and deeper inside. I'm following through the normal syntax that Moodle is having. So clicking on it, it takes me down here. Recall about the category. I don't need to click because it's up. And recall about my courses, and this is my courses that have been created. So what I just need to do, I'll click on this gearbox. I'll click on the gearbox, which is showing editing. Clicking on the gearbox takes me here. It might seem to be long, but by the time you get used to it, it's just a click. Within 5 seconds, 2 seconds, you are done with all this clicking and clicking. So from here, what do I need to do? I just click Save and Display. So it takes me I've walked through the normal path into my course now. So I'm already in my course. So I want to add an activity to my course. I want to change this name from general. I want to change this address, change this one. So what I need to do is to add an activity. Let us look up here. Up here beside your user storage and your drop-down stuff, you find the editing mode. Another thing you need to know about Moodle is you need to put the editing mode on. Without putting the editing mode on, you can't do anything. You can't do anything. You can't change this name, neither can you change anything here. So what do you need to do? You put on the editing mode by clicking on this side and it's on. Moodle is now telling me it is on because it's showing just like this. So my editing mode will change. You can see what has happened. I want to believe you notice what has happened. What has happened is, recall that my general was not having something like pen. My date was not having something like pen. It's not telling me to hide an activity. Let me close it again so that you can see what has happened. If you close it again, it's telling you it will just be normal. You can't edit anything. It is a closed editing as it is like this. You can't add any activity, you can't change name, you can't do anything. But once you put on the editing mode on, it gives you the power to do all those things. Recall that there are two things, there are more things, but the first of them is the opening of the eye. Wherever you see eye, make sure you open the eye or you close the eye, whichever one. And this editing, ensure that you put it on before you do any editing. You can see the site is much more populated now. I want to change this name from general. Recall that we said this is practical 001. Now, what is now the topic under the practical 001? I want to change this. You click on this arrow, this editing arrow, you click on it, it gives you the power to edit. You have this, you can see that it's telling you that the general has gone. Let's call this a name, let's just say test practical 1. And recall, if you click outside, it's not going to save it. Moodle is very good. It tells you escape to cancel, then enter to finish. Enter means you press enter key on your keyboard. Do we get that? Once you press enter key on your keyboard, it's affected. I press enter key on my keyboard. After a while, you can see it is reflected. If you did not press enter key on your keyboard, it will never be reflected. Now, let's quickly go to that question that my Oga asked. Is it the same way you had video or you do this? Now, let me quickly introduce us to video doing of a thing. I have thousands of videos already on YouTube. Tutorial videos, I have made several videos that I use for my students. First of all, you need to upload that video to your YouTube. You need to do a recording of your teaching. After doing the recording of your teaching, upload it to YouTube. Once you upload it to YouTube, you can now map it from YouTube to your site. Recall that Mr. Mike told us in the morning that you can actually add the video of yourself as introduction, but it is limited. As you can see from the screen, you can see these are just some of my videos which I've done. I've done several teachings on cyber security, teachings on hacking, teaching on all of them, teaching on Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, teaching my students, and so on and so forth. Videos of lessons, one, and all of them. So what you will need to do, we are not going into teaching you how to upload your videos to YouTube. but it is a skill that you need to acquire for you to be a very good person or for you to develop your module also. Because if you don't know how to do that, there's no way I think you can add your own video to your YouTube. And one thing my profs will always tell me is, that thing you are doing, is it actually you who's doing it? So there is a steps, or there are procedure of you doing your video. As you can see in most of my video, you see myself there. You see my image, that it is actually saying that I did it. So I'm going to add a video now to a particular course. Let's go back to our course. This is our course now. I'm going to add an activity. I'll click on add an activity or a resource button, just like this. It shows me different activities, different resources that I can use, which is what you are showing. What you are saying, which was why I showed us the theory of the practical before. I'm very sure that you've seen this before. So you are now seeing it live. You have activities. You also have resources. There's a big difference between resources and activities. Activities are what you created, what you want them to do. Resources are what assist you in making your platform better. Your YouTube site, your YouTube video that you uploaded is something that will make your module to be better. And that comes under the URL. It comes under your URL. You have pages, you have labels, you have all of them. You have so many things. But we are going to be using the resources of URL. You want to add a video into your module site. This is how to do it. First of all, sit behind your system, do a recording of what you are teaching, upload it on Moodle. Upload it on YouTube, map it from YouTube into your website. That's just, map it into your module site. That's just very simple. So you just need some procedure on how to do that. So you click on the URL, because the resources you want to add is a what? Is a URL resources. You want to import from somewhere to somewhere. It gives you need to give it a name. You need to give it a name. You need to give that particular thing that you are bringing a name. So which is the name we are giving. Let's say video _1 is what I'm going to give it. Here now, I go back to my YouTube page. This particular video, let me look for one. Okay, this particular video is what I want to embed. So I'll click at these 3 dots, as you can see here, 3 dots. Let me scroll down so that I can see properly. Or better still, just click on the video. Click on the video. Once the video is open, just copy the URL. So let me stop it so that it doesn't disturb our class. Stop this. So the next thing I need to do is just to copy this URL. I'll click on the URL that is displayed up, copy. Then I go back to my Moodle and I put the URL there. That's the URL, that's the link which is there. And remember, you need to give it a name and you need to give it the external URL. These 2 things are very, very important. Then you can do a brief description of that video. This is just for practical. You always tell people your description. And once you are done, you can scroll down. Now, here, the way your video should appear. That is why you have this appearance. Do you want it to display automatically, or you want to embed it? It depends on you. Or you want it to pop up, or you just want it to open. Let's say embed. Embed means it's going to limit how it's going to show. But your participant can decide to enlarge it. But let's leave it for embed and let's see how it looks like. So that is what I have chosen. And let us note something. For every activities or every resources that you have in your Moodle, they all have their different, what do I call it? There are different steps that you must allow them to do. Just like the way you have appearance. If you had the activities of a quiz, you might not see appearance there. You might not see URL variable there. That's what I'm trying to say. By the time we begin to go deeper into that, you begin to notice that you have several informations that follow through with different activities. So that's the only thing we are going to do. So from there, I'm now going to say save and display. If you click on save and return, it means you still want to do some other things. So let me click save and display. Clicking on save and display. Let's see what it will show us before I talk. So the Moodle side will save that particular thing for us, and let's see what we have. If you take a look at it now, you can see our video is already on our Moodle site. And you can see up here. Yes, sir?
Yes, I'm just looking at it. Since we whether to use this time to request for questions based on today's sessions, so that since we still have the whole of tomorrow for more practical, so that we can ask, since the participant will also demonstrate tomorrow practically, so that we can just ask them for clarification on what we have done today, sir. I wouldn't know whether that we.
Yes, that would be right. But however, yes, sir, I want to log out from my from the admin now. Let them see what the participant will be saying, because we've also added video, we've added the resources to our course now.
Okay, sir.
All right,
please proceed, sir. Please proceed, sir. I said proceed so that
you can see. All right, I've heard you, sir. So from here now, let me log out and let us see what the participant will be seeing. I'm logging out and I will log in with his details and for him to see what my participant will be seeing. Recall I told us earlier that we can also view or change our role to be participant so that we can see what participant is saying. So this is Ajayi 001. Then I'll change, put his password Ola 123 question. Then I log in. Once I log in, you will see what the participant will be saying. If there are 10 million, that is the same thing they will all be saying. If there are 20 million, that's the same things that they will all be saying. So from here, you can see automatically the course has been added to his dashboard. The system is saying this is the course he recently accessed. With his 10, that's how it's going to show. So clicking on it, let's see what it's going to see. The resource, recall that we've added a resource, and you can see the resource that we've added, and you can see the name that we've changed. So this is the resource that we've added. So it is a video. So clicking on it, the particular person is limited inside the Moodle. It's not taken outside the Moodle to go and view it. So from here, a particular participant can click and view. So if I should click here to view, it will begin to play. And recall, so it's already playing. If you can't hear, no problem. I've disabled the audio, but you can see what is actually happening that some things are happening, some things are showing, meaning that the video is showing, and it's also showing who am I, who is doing the course delivery, and the individual can enlarge it, by clicking on that enlarge, and as you can see, it's been enlarged. So the individual can do whatever he wants to do with it. So you can always click escape for it to go back to his normal side. The individual can stop the video at will. You can see the video has stopped. So class, we've really learned a lot today. You've known how to create your site. You've known how to create your course by going through the sharp way and then going through the normal way, which is your site administrator, your course, courses, your management, course management and stuff. Then from there, you've learned on about 2 or 3 resources. That is, you've known how to add attendance, you've known how to add a video resource, you've also learned how to add other resources into your Moodle site. You've seen what the participant can see, and you've also seen what the administrator can see. So it's left for you now, and by tomorrow, I want to see you adding videos to your site as well, adding many other resources to your site. From there, by tomorrow, we'll do a lot of practicals tomorrow also, which will be very, very interesting as well. So my ESR